Sunday in Djibouti, leaders from Somalia and Somaliland met again to work on solving their differences. A summit was convened by Djibouti's president, Omar Gela. It was attended by Presidents Mohamed Farmajo of Somalia and Muse Bihi of Somaliland.
We really worked hard, day in and day out, to make sure that this conference finally come to fruition. I would also like to recognize the contributions of all other members here. Indeed, we are here today to open a long-awaited historical talk between federal government of Somalia and Somaliland government to renew our commitment for open and honest dialogue on future relations to achieve long-lasting peace and prosperity for our society. Federal government of Somalia is committed to address all outstanding issues and bridge the gap between the two sides.
Also present was Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Ethiopia brokered previous discussions between Farmajo and Bihi, most recently on the side of the African Union Summit earlier this year. The Ethiopian Prime Minister urged the leaders to make decisions that will positively affect their citizens economically and socially.
My brother Mohammed and Musi, you have choices to make today to embrace the spirit of forgiveness, reconciliation, and genuine healing, and unleash the power of your people. The leadership you make will also have profound impact on our region and set an example to other regions of Africa.
Saying that Somalia can be a formidable economic powerhouse, Abiy listed its resources, including the longest coastline in Africa, rich marine resources, fertile productive agricultural land, ample livestock, untapped mineral resources, including uranium, petroleum, and natural gas. The Ethiopian leader seemed to imply the possibility of a unified nation.
Your strength lies in your solidarity. Together, you can rise as a nation and overcome monumental challenges. I urge you to seize the moment and look forward to a future of peace and prosperity for the Somali people.
Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991. It has not been recognized as a sovereign state by any other country. Ethiopia's interest is in seeing peace in the region. Somaliland was at one time British Somalia, when colonial powers had divided the country. Italy controlled what is now Somalia. Djibouti's President Gela alluded to the colonial division which preceded today's bad blood.
A few days from now, will mark the 60th anniversary of the end of colonial power in the Somali territories. After the struggles of the last 30 years, the time for a rebirth is now. Indeed, this new generation of young people are not burdened by the violence of the past, and I believe they are the best suited to build anew.
Abiy seconded his host's call for building on youth.
We need to change course and start a new era. We need to cultivate hope and build a better future for our people.
President Gela seemed to indicate that a political solution could be far off. He urged the two leaders to solve short-term problems for the good of their people.
Putting aside the political side of things, we would like to see beneficial outcomes in terms of free trade, free movement of people and goods, as well as cooperation on all matters in order to provide opportunities to help your people prosper. Once you have established a blueprint for cooperation, you can start to build on those achievements and ultimately give it any form you like.
For the Djibouti, it was a significant issue for them, and in terms of, as you know, Djibouti is seeking to be competing with Kenya to be member of the Security Council. And generally, I think this was a quite diplomacy showdown for Djibouti to organize this kind of meeting.
For their part, Farmajo and Bihi both presented positive perspectives on social media. During his opening speech to the summit, Farmajo thanked the U.S. for its role in the meeting.
Let me also extend my gratitude to the most senior diplomat, the United States Ambassador to Somalia, His Excellency Donald Yamamoto, for his role and commitment to ensure these historical talks to take place here in Djibouti.
The U.S. government expressed its satisfaction online that the meeting took place.
Most of the world is sick and tired of to have 7 presidents and sick and tired of divisions of leadership in Somalia. I think what the international community and the Horn of Africa at large, and also the new leadership of Ethiopia, want to see is a new Horn of Africa. And Somalia will be vital for that new Horn of Africa when you have a unified country.
Reactions to the posts of all the leaders present were not so positive. One of Bihi's own aides wrote of the Somali government as untrustworthy. The issue of sovereignty was on the mind of many who commented on each leader's social media posts. Some analysts see this meeting, among other regional activities, as indicators that reintegration is possible.
You have United States, Ethiopia, European Union, and generally the international community, which are pushing towards a Somali unification. And I think that there is a general will within the Somali people, and I'm glad there is some sort of technical committee, but time will tell if there is enough economic incentives and if there is enough commitment for the leadership from both Somaliland and Somalia when it comes to real unification. And I think it might take time.
But the feeling of accomplishment that is spelled out in the summit's final communique is something to build on.
And I believe if we connect economic incentives and also development to this kind of agreement, you will gradually see some sort of reunification between Somalia and Somaliland.
With elections coming up in Somalia, there are plenty of problems with state governments to be solved. Progress in talks with Somaliland is something the federal government can build on.